Welcome to Creative Scrapbooker Magazine's Technique Tasters. We're here today with Connie Nichol.
Hello.
Connie is going to be working with some really funky tool called the blending tool, or a blending pen. Show us some different techniques on using it to color. And you know, a blending pen sometimes is intimidating. People don't know what exactly to use it for, so I'm really excited that you're here to show us.
Oh, great.
So this is what you're going to be creating?
Yes, so I made a simple card, and I've used a number of different close to my heart tools that people might not know about or how to use. It's a really kind of fun and easy thing to do, to add different effects. So the card,
the base itself looks like you used some great paper from Fab Scraps.
oh, it's beautiful. Look at the different colors, right? There's
Very nice.
Very sunflowery and kind of a burlappy, and they're all double-sided. So I stamped actually on the pattern
so you
paper.
stamped right onto the pattern paper,
Yeah,
which
I
always
sure did.
scares me, and you did a great job.
Oh, it's easy.
I'll move this out of the way for you, Connie.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So you're gonna stamp, and you're using a close to my heart stamp, some close to my heart ink.
Yeah, it's a friend stamp.
Oh, look at how cute that is.
It's just a little.
And they store in those little containers. You want to bring that over here too? So they store in like these little cute containers. I like that.
So I've just stamped the friend. And now when you're coloring it, instead of needing a bunch of markers on every different color that you want to color, all you need is one magical tool called the blending pen, or the blender pen.
Connie, do you know exactly, like, is it just like a clear ink?
It's a
water-based thing?
I'm not sure. It's a different kind of solution.
It's like a blending solution, so it like spreads the ink around. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Holds the ink color? Okay.
It sure is.
Keep going.
So there's different ways of picking up the ink. One of the things that you can do is use an acrylic block as kind of your ink pad. So just dab it on, and you've picked up some ink.
Oh, I see, okay.
And then pick up a little ink.
Oh, and it's a fine, detailed.
Yeah, there's
But I mean, you can
two
really
ends.
do detailed coloring with it.
oh yeah.
Okay.
And the nice thing is you don't need a whole bunch of markers. You just use your regular ink pads and this pen.
Go ahead and color away.
You can color away. I don't usually touch the ink pad directly. Look at these ink pads though. They have magnetic closures. They're just,
Oh, cool.
so you're not having to worry about taking the lid off or flipping it. So
Nice.
what some people do is you can just push down and it picks up ink on the lid, and then you can use that.
Very handy. handy.
Like I say, or you can also put a drop of a re-inker on a block and just use that.
So how does this, so then you can use the same blending pen with numerous colors, because you can like get rid of all of the ink on the tip of the blending pen and then dip it into a different color.
That's right. So if I had a piece of scrap paper, which I don't.
Do you want to do the back
I'll
of
do the
that?
back side. So you just
get rid
rub
of
it until the color runs out,
and then it's good to go.
and then you're brand new.
Cool.
Yeah, so we can do the same thing with the orange.
And you
Add a
basically
little bit more.
all that in.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So I'll just put a little ink on here. Orange. So you can just keep going and color in your whole.
And you can blend, you can also get the different color tones, right? You can go dark, soft, yeah, lots you can do there.
Yeah, depending on how much ink you pick up. If you use a drop of re-inker, it's a very kind of vivid color, but you can go a lot more subtle. So get more of a watercolor effect, I guess. So we can just kind of keep coloring.
I'm excited for you to show me what you did here. I know this is also a close to my heart tool, and this isn't using the blending tool, but I do want you to show me what you did to get this faux-like stitching.
Absolutely. So this is the coolest thing. It's a close to my heart stitching template, so it's full of holes, and they're all mirror image,
yeah.
so you can use it to do a whole circle. So it's just like a piercing template. So you would take a piece of paper, and we can do stitching here. So I use the fancy border.
Okay.
Line it up, and then there's a piercing tool. It's got a very sharp end, so there's a little cap on it. Oh, which one did we want to do?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. So just pierce through the little holes, and this is a trick for, you can either stitch or you can use a pen to create faux stitching for those of us that don't want to pull out our sewing machine all the time. And plus, some of these effects are pretty fancy, right? If you don't have a
fancy sewing machine. Right.
So you can just keep going, but that'll give you the idea.
So that's what you did here. So there's actually little holes.
Yeah.
Okay, and here.
So I could get my embroidery thread and stitch, but I'm not patient enough for that. So I did faux stitching with these Sakura Micron pens. And I love this particular pen set because there's a range of thicknesses of the pen nibs. So if you look at them, they go from 0.005 all the way up to 0.05.
All in one package, so you can get the whole range in one little package.
Yeah, so if you want a thicker line, then you would use a bigger number. So just use the pen.
So now you're just connecting the dots.
Yeah, connect the holes and make your border.
It's tricky to see.
Yeah, on this light it is. So you can do the same effect for any shape, any border, and here I just did on
like a triangle weirdo. Yeah, that's neat. So Connie, you also used, I see you have some glazed pens from Sakura on there. What did you, on the table here, what did you use those for?
Well, these are fun because they give you a glossy 3D color. So I just used a black glaze pen, and you can color with it, but I wanted to emphasize the word friend. So I just colored in, so it's glossy.
It actually
and it's
gives
raised.
you it actually looks like you've embossed it.
Yeah,
with that little bit of a glaze.
I don't know if you can see how shiny it is, but it's it's a beautiful pen, and they're so nice and smooth.
Cool. Love it. Well, you know what, Connie? We just did a whole bunch of stuff. You guys need to go out and grab yourselves some blending pens. And you need to get this close to my heart stitching tool.
Oh, this one's great.
Some Fab Scraps pattern paper, and those Sakura glaze pens. And you'll be making this card in no time.
Easy.
Cool. Thank you, Connie.
You're welcome.
Connie is back at it, showing us how to use Saran Wrap on your layouts. I'm actually excited. You always come up with these things, or you show me these neat things, because Connie is our frugal scrapbooker. So Connie, it's this right here, right?
Yes.
That's what we're gonna create, so I'm so excited.
Well, my last article for Creative Scrapbooker magazine, I did things that I found in my kitchen. So I'm rustling through drawers, looking through for all kinds of treasures. And one of the drawers I had the most fun with was the wax paper Saran Wrap drawer. You can do a lot of stuff with things like that.
Well, and you know you're a die-hard scrapbooker when you open your kitchen cupboard and you're like, ooh, how can I use that on my next project?
So first of all, I wanted to show you, so there's close to my heart these little spray bottles, and you can make your own spray ink just by adding a little water.
I love that flexibility to do that.
And a couple drops of re-inker. So the darker you want the color, the more drops of re-inker.
And their re-inker comes like in these very big bottles.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot.
And these spray bottles are nice and big too. Like you're not going to run out in a hurry.
People start making me spray on the show, so if I have a scared look on my face, it's because I'm genuinely worried about spraying on the show.
Sure.
But you're brave.
Stick with me, Jackie.
We'll be fine. For you, just in case. So a little bit of water, a few drops of re-inker.
Sure. Okay, so presto, we have spray.
And you have spray.
So the next thing we want to do, I always use glossy paper.
Okay.
For this.
So you've got some Ranger.
So this is Ranger glossy paper.
Okay.
And then I'll get a thing of Saran Wrap. Oh great, it's all stuck to the roll.
That's the rule.
Come on, use Saran Wrap.
It doesn't have to be pretty though. It can be all crinkled.
Ah! And the box is falling apart. Yeah, so just take out a bunch of Saran Wrap.
Okay. Do you need more of this, Connie?
No. I'm good for now.
Okay.
So just crumple it up. The more wrinkles, the better.
And again, it's Ranger glossy cardstock. Okay, here this goes. I'm backing away.
I'm just spraying myself. So spray onto your Saran Wrap.
Right onto the Saran Wrap.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then press it down.
And again, we're creating these hearts.
So the more wrinkles in the Saran Wrap, the better. So you can use different colors, and then you set it aside to dry. And this is the part that takes patience, right? So take little pieces of crumpled Saran Wrap, and then you can add different color.
Oh, you want more?
And no, I'm just gonna add on a little bit here. So I usually use complementary colors, so you can use yellow and pink.
Okay, good.
And then press it down and let it dry.
So you let the Saran Wrap dry right on there? Okay, so I'll take this away and dun-da-da-da.
I'm making a mess.
The beauty of
So when
television.
it dries, all you've got is like all these little wrinkly pieces, and if you've used a couple of different colors, you get a piece of paper that looks like that. So
looks very stained glassy.
Yeah, so here's one I did with green and orange. So you can use the whole piece as a background for a card, or you can use it to die cut titles or shapes or what have you.
And you used a a Close to My Heart die cut.
So Close to My Heart has these awesome dies called thin cuts, and they actually come on a piece of magnetic packaging. So these are the hearts, and they'll cut the solid heart and the ring around the heart. So you've got different shapes and different colors. So they're beautiful dies.
That's very easy.
Yeah. So you can have lots of fun with the different colors there. And then for the card background.
Oh, you're gonna show us how to make this brick wall. Ooh, I like that.
Well, while I have my Rankers out, so this is Ranger texture paste.
Oh, I'll get this Ranger stencil ready for you.
So I just glom some texture paste in here. What color should we do, Jackie? You want to do green?
Oh, sure, do green.
This is the messy Connie coming up. So just put a few drops of Ranger, and this way you can customize your texture paste. You can have it light, dark, whatever color. This one is quite a nice dark green.
This is totally like making putty and playing with clay. You feel.
Well, I like that you can customize it. So this one I did kind of a mint green, or if you add just one drop of yellow, you make it. So you can use a piece of washi tape
to stick it onto the non-stick mat.
Ranger non-stick mat, so it doesn't move around. And then you just basically smear it through.
Oh, that's fun.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And then it'll dry quite quickly, and then you've got your background for your card.
Does it, like, when you say quite quickly, I'm thinking it, like I've used this before, I think like at least 10 minutes, something like that, or a little bit longer?
I usually go have a coffee. 20 minutes?
Yeah.
30. So
you don't want to wreck it by starting to glue stuff on it.
And you can just touch it, right?
Oh, nice.
So
that's fun.
It dries pretty quickly, so you can use whatever Ranger stencil,
and
whatever color
of
Ranger.
Washes away with water, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's how you get a lovely touchable card background.
Yeah, it makes you want to touch it.
Yeah. So I've added a Close to My Heart stamp and a little bit of Close to My Heart twine.
I see you have some of the twine over there.
I do.
Close to My Heart comes up with all different kinds of this, don't they?
I really like adding a little twine. This adds the perfect finishing touch.
That's perfect. You need to go grab some Rankers, and you need to get your Saran Wrap, look at it totally differently, and start making some cards.
All right.
Thanks, Connie. Connie is going to be working with chameleon pens, And they are those pens that do all kinds of variations in color just with one pen. And you're gonna custom color some dies for us here today.
You bet.
So basically, you're creating this happy effect that you have here on the card?
I am. Okay. So you can see how it's kind of variegated color and it's dimensional. So that's really easy to do.
With one pen?
One pen.
With one pen from Chameleon, you can get all these different colors.
So we'll just basically customize our die cut with a couple of simple tools. So the die is a thin cut from Close to My Heart. It's beautiful. Again, it comes on that magnetic packaging
sheet, and that's so nice because it doesn't slide around when you're storing it.
Yeah, so we'll just die cut the word happy.
And what kind of cardstock are you using there, Connie?
I'm using Close to My Heart Whisper White cardstock.
Okay.
I love it. It's nice and smooth.
You're running it through the Sizzix Big Shot.
Usually you do the cranking for me.
Usually I do, but you're on that side of the table, so I'm just standing here looking pretty.
I got brand new Big Shot plates too, so I'm a happy girl.
It cuts like butter. Oh, I love it when that happens, when it comes out so nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful dies.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then you have to poke them out. Oh, that's a fine, detailed.
Fine. Okay, wow. Far happy. And then we're going to color it with the Chameleon alcohol marker.
And they come in all kinds of colors. Holy doly.
So we'll do blue today.
Okay.
So I'm going to use the brush tip. So you can make it look however you want. I like the
diffusing the color. Sorry, that's what you're doing right now. Yeah. So she's pushing the color down into the nib so that the darker color goes to the bottom, the lighter color stays at the top, right?
Yes.
Is that right?
So we'll just start to color. So we're going to go from light to more intense. And then when we think we should go back to light again, we'll stop and we'll diffuse. And so we'll get our lighter shades of blue. So I usually wait 5 or 10 seconds, depending on how light you want to go and how long you want to color for each turn. I always just do a test.
Just do a test to see if it's at the right lightness?
Yeah, so we'll just keep coloring, coloring. So after I finish doing the variegated coloring, I'm not too fussy about missing a few spots because I take this colorless blender pen that's also in your Chameleon set and I just kind of blend.
Oh yeah.
So it just kind of smooths out and spreads the color a little bit.
Well, actually, one of the things I like about this technique that you're doing is that you actually, you can be all over the place. You don't have to stay in the lines because it actually looks great when you go to emboss it over top.
Yes.
I think. In my opinion.
I'm not that patient, so
there you go.
Smear it all around. Okay, so then we want to put on our layers of dimension.
Because you want to catch all this.
Yeah. So I use, you can use a watermark ink like Versamark. And so basically, just direct to paper.
And I think it's important to tell everybody, look at how dirty Connie's Versamark pad is. And that is still a good pad. It's still nice and juicy. You can still re-ink it and keep on using it. I think Kathy Allen calls it her dirty pad, her dirty little girl.
Honestly, I've had this 15 years. They just last forever.
And she keeps it. Okay, so now you got some embossing powder.
Yeah, so for this you can use whatever clear embossing powder. In Close to My Heart sells Ranger clear embossing powder, which is a really nice one. So you have a coat.
I like how you have it in a bath, like a embossing.
Yeah, otherwise it gets messy.
Okay.
So I buy a big tub of embossing powders and the colors I use all the time.
Yeah, I love that. I do that too. Oh, you need to have your, there we go.
So I put on 3 coats of this embossing powder to get a nice, smooth, raised image. And it's very quick. You see how it's melting? I love heat embossing. It's like magic.
Do you put another layer of Versamark and then dip it in? Okay.
I do. Now, if you're really, really fast, you can put this in while it's hot, but I'm never that fast. So what I do is I melt the first layer, and you can see it's still kind of bumpy. But every layer that we put on now will smooth it out. So I just ink it up again.
And that's the beauty of working on this Ranger non-stick mat. You can just plunk stuff down on there and you don't have to worry about it.
Number 2. Plus I'm kind of a messy girl, but I don't have to worry about this.
Oh, Connie, that's beautiful. Look at how that's raised so nice.
Yeah, it looks so fancy, like you just made an epoxy.
And it didn't look like when you were doing it that it was going to turn out quite that nice. So there you go. That looks great. You know what, Connie? I know you did something here as well to this twine using your markers or your pens.
There's our happy. Yeah. So the beautiful thing about chameleon markers too is I can customize my twine color. So close to my heart. So it's a plain white twine. So what I've done is I've just attached the end with a little piece of washi tape and wound it around a piece of cardstock.
Oh, this is such a cool little tip. I love this.
This is so quick, right?
Yeah.
So you just wound it and then you take your chameleon marker, and it doesn't even matter which end, and then
you just make some
easier
stripes.
if it's closest together. Yeah, some stripes. You can go straight or you can go at an angle.
Just let's put your hand on this side, if you can.
Yeah.
And I'll hold that.
Keep them close together.
Yeah. So we're basically creating those stripes that's on this card right here. On the twine.
So
that's awesome.
Do the front and the back, and that's how it turns out, right? So you have twine that exactly matches your die cut because you've used the same marker to create it.
And then to wrap all this card up, I see that you've used the Brothers sewing machine.
I did.
To create this little frame that's going around the sides.
Yeah, so I dry embossed with the Close to My Heart embossing folder, the background, and then I ran it with some...
right here.
Yeah, ran it with some turquoise thread through my Brothers sewing machine. It just dresses it up a little bit and frames the card.
And you keep your Brothers sewing machine set up in your scrapbooking room all the time, don't you? Yeah,
I do.
So you can be a scrapbooker, you can be a sewer, you can be an inker, you can be a stamper. It's all wonderful. We love it all. Thank you so much, Connie, for showing us that fun technique. I'm going to be doing that at home.
All right. Well, good.
Perfect. This is really neat. So Connie has taken all 3 of those fabulous techniques and has put it all onto this totally fun, make me want to smile, happy layout.
Thanks.
It's awesome. And you know what, Connie, we'll just walk through some of the things that you did. I see that you used a whole bunch of different kinds of Close to My Heart products.
I did.
Yes.
I love the colors. They're so bright, and there's so many of them. So the pattern paper is from the Close to My Heart Adventure Fundamentals, and there's all kinds of bright colors and stripes and words.
And it's a huge collection too, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
So I kind of mix and match and use different pieces.
I love how you did that.
And it's all double-sided, so you can kind of curl the edges and roll it up to show the underneath part. So.
And then I see you did this fake stitching or faux stitching with the What is that called again?
Just a stitch template.
Just a stitch template, okay,
Yeah.
that's simple.
So I did just a plain one around the edge with the black pen, and then I did a little bit of zigzag here.
And that looks so much like a real sewing machine, that's awesome.
Yeah, but you don't have to fuss with the real sewing machine.
And then I see you use the Saran Wrap right there on your Ranger glossy paper.
So I had an extra piece of the Saran Wrap paper, so I cut some extra hearts out and adhered them to the layout in some of those matching colors that I made with the re-inker spray. So everything goes really well together.
Perfect. And then the Close to My Heart die cut with the chameleon pens and all of the embossing powder to get this gorgeous happy sign.
And I made stars the same way.
I see the stars too.
I've lost my star die.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, okay. So Close to My Heart also has star dies. So I kind of custom colored them, put on a few coats of embossing powder, so now they're glossy and dimensional. So really fun. A happy die.
And colored them with your chameleon pens.
Yeah.
And you got your blender pen there.
Yeah, so some of these little stamp circles and stuff, some of them I just stamped with ink, and some of them I picked up the color with my blender pen off an acrylic block and custom colored the little happy faces and stuff. So.
You glued this all together with some Close to My Heart.
Yeah, I really this is a broad tip glue pen from Close to My Heart, and it moves really well when it's wet, and then it sticks down. Sticks hard, so it's great for paper.
I love it, Connie. Thank you so much. You've totally inspired me. I'm going to go scrapbook as soon as I get home. Thank you.
Bye.